Welcome back. Well, before we get into our book review feature this week, we just want to welcome you to please share some of the books that you're currently reading or those that are on your to-read list. You may just be the lucky viewer who will join us for a live book review of that very same book. All you have to do is send us an email, Instagram, or tweet us a picture, and of course, write a relevant caption of your pick of the week, must read for 2018, your current read, and the one you were hoping was going to be great, but maybe turned out to be rather disappointing. Tweet us at Morning Live SABC, hashtag Morning Live SABC. On Instagram, you can also at Morning Live SABC or drop us a mail, morninglive@sabc.co.za. Well, on our book review feature this week, we have invited two of our viewers to join us this morning to tell us more about the books they have been reading. The lucky viewers are Dumisiwe Kubeka, who will be unpacking her current read titled The Make of a Real Woman by Nellie Kangwa, a read that explores womanhood. And from our Durban Studios, we are joined by Alfreda Frantzen, who will be reviewing the Poldark Series that were written about 40 years ago by Winston Graham. A very good morning to both you ladies, and welcome to Morning Live. Dumisiwe, I'll start with you. Tell us why you chose The Make of a Real Woman. What was it that you found appealing about the book?
I was so interested in finding out what the art of manifesting womanhood in the marketplace and marriage will be reading like in a book, because it's quite difficult to have to intermingle everything if you're a working mother, and also to make sure that everything is stable at the home. So that is how I was interested in reading this book, so that I find out how do other women do it out there.
And the book focuses on how a woman can manifest her womanhood, as you say, to motivate her to be the partner that her man needs. How has this book sort of opened your eyes?
Well, it has opened my eyes to see that the view that the world will have of my husband will depend on the structure and the stability that I'm going to bring in my home, so that when he goes out, he's confident, he's not threatened by my achievements, he's not threatened by me pursuing my destiny and my purpose. It also opened my eyes into seeing and accepting that as a woman, you know that as a woman growing up, you question a lot of things. Why is this being done by a woman? Why are men not able to do this and that? And it's strange for some things. So I was interested to find out that from the book, how is it being brought out for me to understand why is it that I need to be able to marry the two. And the book helped me realize that womanhood as a mother, it is also part of my purpose. And being my purpose, I have to make sure that everything is stable around me. And when I am stable as the center of the home, as the center at work, as the center even in business, then everything will only work according to how I have shown myself to be, how I have manifested myself as I go out into the world from my home.
All right. Let's now go to you, Alfreda. You are currently reviewing the Poldark series. Tell us more about how you discovered these books and ended up reading the entire collection.
Hi there. Well, I joined the Bloemfontein Library in 1960 to work as a librarian, and I was there quite a few years, and we used to reserve books for our readers. And one of the series that the reservation list was usually about 30 long, and I couldn't understand why these people were reading these books. I tried once and it just didn't work for me. But now in December, January, I was in Johannesburg visiting my daughter, and I needed some recreation, and I found these books at a bookstore, and I started. And I tell you, there are 12 books in the series. This is the first one. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Ross Poldark. And from there are 12 that you can just carry on reading and reading and reading, because you cannot put them down.
And Alfreda,
now, what I look for in a novel...
Alfreda, you describe the books as excellent reads. What makes them such exceptional books, briefly?
What I look for in a book is entertainment, and I also look for education. It must tell me something, and these are historical novels based on real facts. during the time of the French Revolution, although it's set in Cornwall in England, and they have a lot to do with tin and copper mining and the sociological problems. Those were dire times. Children were just dying of starvation. I don't know if you've heard about the Great Potato Famine in Ireland, and that is why all these Irish immigrants went to America, because they just couldn't live. There was nothing to eat. And it's very well described in these books as well as the mining itself, which is very relevant to our country. They didn't even have cages to go down. They just dug down, 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 and all they had was ladders. The temperatures reached up to 60 degrees below ground. There was no air conditioning. The water, because Cornwall is surrounded by water, was always a problem, and they had to have these huge pumps, which often broke down, because we're talking about 200-300 years ago.
Alfreda,
so
let me just interject there for a little bit. We don't have much time because we do have another guest who's still here in the studio. But if you had to rate the book out of 10, how would you rate it?
Oh, 10.
Oh, that is
10 out of 10. Excellent.
Well, you clearly have been really enjoying that series. Let me come to you. If you had to rate the book that you're currently reading, how would you rate it out of 10 and why?
I would rate it 10 out of 10 because it helped me. It took my mind to a point where I thought I am a Christian, so I also go to the Bible. I refer to the Bible. It made me think that if Tamar from the Bible, because her purpose and destiny looks similar to that of Joseph, if she had survived, they both had coats of many colors, they both had problems rising up in their families, but Tamar decided to go into the forest and die alone, and she never rose up. But if there was a new chapter, chapter 14 of her book, it would have been different. It would have given women that have been exposed to physical abuse, sexual abuse, a hope to hold on to rise up and to be better women in future, just like Joseph did with men. It gave men something to hold on to and to hope for something better together. When they are growing up in their families, they have a hope that they can hold on to. If Tamar had done that for us as women, it would have given us a point of reference. So that is how I enjoyed it, because it then took my mind to thinking of, if Tamar had risen, then I can rise. Because I can see that if she had risen, I can rise myself and make a change for my daughters.
Fantastic. It sounds like such a great book that every woman should read. Those were the two Morning Live viewers, Dumisiwe Kubeka and Alfreda Frantzen. And they've been reviewing books that they have read titled The Make of a Real Woman by Dr Nellie Kangwa and the Poldark Series by Winston Graham.